I mean, there's no easier message in the world to sell to somebody
Yeah.
than focus on yourself. You should come first. It's me time. Now, April, I want to ask you, as somebody who is entering into this matriarch phase of your life, most of the women listening to this are, maybe at the early stage of mother, and they're finding it really difficult to die to themselves, and they're probably inundated with messages from the culture, whether it's TV shows or social media, saying to them, prioritize yourself. Just like Michelle Obama said, I wish I would have done this earlier. I would have prioritized my own freedom, my own preferences earlier as an individual. Think about yourself as an individual. What do you say to somebody who is hearing those messages, but believes in Jesus, wants to follow what God has laid out as his path, but is finding this tension really difficult in
Yeah.
this season?
I would say, you do have to take care of yourself. Like, we're not selling the message of, like, you should never, do anything for yourself and you should never, um, have a break. So there is so much about the early years of motherhood that are exhausting. And so being able to get to the place where he can support his wife in such a way that she has the money, ability, time to do something that will help her rejuvenate. And so I do think that that's very important as a young mom. And so it will be temporary, it might be like a 2 hour block, a 2 hour break, but that's across, there you will have a season. It's important to remember that your kids will not always be this age. They're going to you might be in that cycle for a while where you're, like, pregnant, nursing, recovering, and then have a little bit of time, and then you're pregnant and then nursing and recovering while you have a 2-year-old, and then, like, that cycle does go on for a few years. Like, in my case, it was, like, about a 10, 11-year span of my life. And so that sounds like, "Oh my gosh, 10 years of this, 11 years of this is a lot." And that's another reason why I think Shabbats are so important. Like, taking a day of rest is so important. Having a day where you and your husband can figure out how to find your off button and how to truly get a chance to, like, refresh yourself for the week that's to come. And then having this week of having your mini breaks in between. That's why nap times are so important for your kids. This is a very tiring part of life when you're potty training and doing so many loads of laundry, when you're, making food 3 times a day, 4 times a day, times 7 days a week, like, the repetitive nature of that can also be exhausting, the exhaustion that comes from consistent discipline. So, but also remembering that we are attached to the source. Like, if, Jesus said, "Abide in me, and I will abide in you," and be attached to the branch. Like, he says that, "I am the vine, you are the branches." It's if you literally picture a branch attached to a vine, you're connected, and that branch is getting its nutrients from the vine, and the vine is connected to the roots structure. And so if you picture your spiritually, you need to be attached to the Father so that he can be refilling you
Yeah.
and giving you the source of life.
And
Because some of that exhaustion is like a spiritual exhaustion or like an
right.
emotional exhaustion. It's not just the physical. And so we need the breaks from all the fronts. So remember that as a believer, you have the resources that you need in the Lord to get
Yeah.
re rejuvenated.
Rejuvenated.
Thank you.
Yeah.